everybody. My name is MagicMaddie. This is my good buddy pigdude, and welcome
Hello.
to our Break Free Persona panel. It seems scary at first, but in truth, we're just here to have a good talk about something that, for good or bad reason, is something that that gets pretty old in the fandom. And so let's just sit down, talk about it, figure out like the whys behind it, how we can deal with it, the whole shebang. Um, Pig Dude, take us out or take us away
All right.
or
So
something like
welcome
that.
to the welcome to the Breaking All Persona Games free panel by Magic Maddie and myself. Today we will be talking about all the Persona games and how they could possibly break free, but also all of the controversy surrounding it. This will be an open discussion, and especially at the end, we will be looking forward to any points that you guys want to bring up with a Q&A and just basically a general chit chat about the topic at hand. So let's
Absolutely.
get into it.
Oh, actually, first few disclaimers. First of all, unless it's like very obvious names that might be covered under an anonymous persona, no pun intended, we will not be naming specific names. For example, when we go into the origins of Break Free Persona, um, we will not be naming who started it. And even if you know, please do not go after them like, hey, you were talking about it in a panel. Like, no, 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 don't. We're not even gonna mention them ourselves. So with that said, let us begin. So we're just gonna touch upon the history of Break Free Persona because who knows? Maybe some people might not understand the why, if you will, behind it all. So, um, I hope I hope we can just like really quickly touch upon this, bring it up real quick, and bada beam, bada boom, so that way we can get into talking about the actual points we have for Break Free Persona and what we can do moving on from it. So, Big Dude, take us out, as Craftium joked about in the Discord chat.
All right. Well, the origin of Break Free Persona is that somebody wanted to talk about basically having the Persona games come out of just being a PlayStation exclusive. And this was in good faith when it first started. And, the
Mm-hmm.
person was just trying to get more people interested in the series because, you always want more people in the fandom so you could talk about it more. So just to be clear, start off in good faith, and then it sadly got sour fairly quickly. So Mads, why don't you cover that?
Absolutely. All right, so here's where Break Free Persona gets. And really, you just want to keep the word controversial a little light because it's not like anything that's gonna end the world, at least in the connotation for controversial. Denotatively, it is a controversy. I'd consider it more of a discourse that is incredibly toxic because unfortunately some people have been really, really vocal about it to in a very obtuse angle. Um, to the point where they are constantly spamming it under Atlas tweets, even like stuff related to Shin Megami Tensei, which some may consider, for understandable reasons, kind of an insult or a slap in the face. It's one thing, in my opinion, and this is like a TLDR. It's one thing to want the games to come to other platforms to be accessible to other people, but it is another thing to uh, spam constantly and not resort to other outlets that are a lot more discreet but still effective. Which brings us to, um, oh, to basically, what can we, like, what exactly are the benefits of breaking Persona free? Because honestly, I think we just gotta realize that at the end of the day, it started out relatively noble. Nothing like super pure-hearted or valiant, but at the same time, it started out like something like, hey, people like these games, but they've never really played them. Joker's in Smash Brothers, so it's kind of um it's so we'll start with like the more positives to being like, okay, we hear you. Let's bring them to Switch, Xbox, Steam, yada yada. Pig Dude, you can take this one.
All right, well, let's start off with the series accessibility, and let me tell you, it's not that great. Um, I have a personal story that I always love to tell around a campfire, and that I decided last summer I wanted to play Persona 4 Golden. You know, I wanted to get into the series more after playing Persona 5 Royal,
Hmm.
but I did not have the hardware to do it. So I went up to my local video game store, bought myself a Vita, and bought Persona 4 Golden on the PlayStation Store. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is great. Then a week later, Persona 4 Golden gets announced for Steam
Wah,
and comes out.
wah.
Now, let me tell you, I was I was upset. I was ticked off, but at the same time, I was glad because it means that more people were able to play it, and hopefully they didn't fall into the same sort of issue that I did. And it's a really great port. Apparently, I have it, but I have yet to play it on Steam. And so luckily, the Vita actually has a majority of the Persona games on it. That was very lucky for me because I think I would have been a bit more ticked off if it didn't. So, which brings me to the whole accessibility thing. That they're not on modern consoles or systems at all, which is extremely frustrating because you have a lot of people praising the early games. And while I'm sure they are really great, we actually had a presentation about Persona 2 earlier on this week. It's hard to actually like be able to play them. You have to have a very early PlayStation console, a Vita, or possibly emulation. Now, first of all, with the earlier consoles, not a lot of people are willing to go out and buy something just to play possibly a single game that they might not even like. And so that's an issue. And then with emulation, that's an entirely different issue because um, it people say you don't need a great computer, but you need somewhat of a good computer with at least enough space for all the files because you are bringing a game that was not meant to be played on computer to your
Hmm.
computer. So it just kind of creates a bit of an issue. And so I really think bringing all the games to modern platforms, even if they're not remasters or remakes, would be a good decision because it allows people to play them a lot easier. And so then more people can get into them and we can stop having this whole play Persona 1. I can't because it's all the way over there on a PlayStation 1 or whatever console it's on.
Excellent, excellent. I really agree with that. Because I personally do not have the ability to emulate, so that really, really spoke to me. Then next up, another thing is that with more accessibility comes the inevitability of newcomers to the world of Persona. That sounds grandiose. It looks grandiose on the slide, but the thing is, uh, I mean, because it's weird because people really want others to play their games. From like I know a lot of Persona 2 fans, like the one who presented the Persona 2 thing at the symposium just this last Friday, who really wanted to who really wanted people to play Persona 2. And if we can get that on some sort of console, whether it's a remake or a port, I personally see the pros and cons for both. I honestly think that we could have a lot of new people really appreciate the stories of Tatsuya, Renamamiya, or Joker, sorry, Narukami, yada yada, etc., Boy with Earring, the whole shebang. And yes, we will address that with a lot of newcomers who are excited about making fan made content and what have you. There's gonna be some discourse, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I just made this. I just bring up this point because the initial thought of more cosplays, more art, more fan fiction, more headcanons, more people talking about the silly games is just really, really exciting. You know? But I digress. So, Gray, why don't you cover exactly why this is probably a really good market for Atlas to pursue? Probably.
Yeah, so like Xerox pointed out in chat, P4G is selling super well on Steam. So that is a good sign that possibly games could come to Steam or modern consoles because they make money. When we get down to it, Atlas is a corporation, so they, as much as it seems they don't like money, they do. So if they want to have people actually play their series, then they need to port the stuff, and it's going to make them money. I mean, Persona 4, I can't remember how many copies it hit recently, but it was a big number. They did a whole announcement like, thank you for this many copies. If someone wants to let me know in chat, 1 million. 1
1
million
million.
copies of Persona 4. If someone wants to do the math just to see around how much they made, possibly, then do that, because that is a lot of money. So that should show Atlas, where we like our games on PC. And also with SMT Nocturne Remaster, that was on Steam and PS4 and Switch. That's a lot of consoles to be on. Same with Persona 5 Strikers. So I think they are kind of getting the message. Maybe we branch out just a little bit. Just a tiny itty bitty bit.
Tiny itty bitty bit. Oh shoot, I just got a notification. I agree. And not to mention, aside from that, I like to address that, and this kind of comes in hand with the last point, that there is the hashtag called Atlas Faithful, wherein they'll be able to see, like, okay, not just financially, but in regards to reception, critical reception, we're getting a lot of fans. Let's hit those markets or something. I don't know. But more so, it is the money and the sales that really, really bring it home. But even so, there are some drawbacks. Now, in my opinion, the drawbacks might not be as big of a deal as the reason to go forward with breaking Persona free, if we want to be grandiose about it. But you gotta admit that there is a reason that Atlas should tread lightly when thinking about this, which is why we come to this point where, in a sense, you could say the port beggars, this is a weird way to word it, but we just had to come up with a TLDR. The port beggars kind of get what they want, and maybe they think to themselves oh, us screaming on Twitter wasn't talking to a brick wall. They actually heard us because we screamed about it. So let's keep doing it again and again for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Well, assuming they just only got 5 for Switch or Xbox or whatever. But yeah. And yeah, porting is not a free thing, let alone is it a quick thing. You can't exactly say oh, this is now in development for Switch, stay tuned for details, and then it doesn't happen for another 2 years or something. Because
Yeah.
What do you think, Big Dude?
Like you said, if they do say oh, we heard your cries, here's Persona 5 on Switch, people will go crazy and start begging for more, and just more and more and more. But we actually kind of got a taste of that a while ago when Lotus Juice, I believe, talked about it. I might be remembering this wrong, but I believe Lotus Juice mentioned it, and so people started theorizing, oh, Lotus Juice, he's the singer, he knows inside stuff, and so that already kind of got people going. So imagine the entirety of Atlas saying it. So that could turn out a bit rough if it does happen.
Yeah, for sure. Then the next point is that there's a slight chance of it not being profitable. Pig Dude, you want to get into it? Because even though it's slight, it is still there for several reasons.
Yeah, so this is very slight, but like mentioned before, games do take money to make and even port. It's not just you hit a button and all of a sudden it is now perfectly fit for PC. I don't mean to bring in another game, but something like this kind of happened recently with a game series called No More Heroes. It got a PC port, and it is the bare minimum. And I love the games, but the PC port is just terrible. It's not well optimized. So it's just, you have to actually be careful when making this stuff, because even with SMT Nocturne, people didn't see it worth the $50 price tag. I refunded it before it came out, because once I started seeing the review copies, um, then it kind of was like, okay, maybe I wait for a sale or something, because um, it just, it didn't look worth it. And so hopefully, if they do port it, they would actually put in the effort to make it a good port and not just a quick and easy try to get money kind of port. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then at the same time, okay, so we brought this up earlier, but with new fans, there's occasionally going to be some toxic discourse. And by toxic discourse, this can mean a lot of things. This can mean painting things about the games in a bad light, making other fans look, I guess you could say, a bit embarrassing, if you will, or just in general, just really bringing down other fans, or even the old fans might start gatekeeping or whatever you, or new fans might gatekeep. There's a lot of aspects to this part, but the point is that we gotta cut if things ever got ported to the Switch from Atlas from the Persona series, we definitely have to cut down on a lot of the toxicity because if we don't say something, it's one thing. I don't know how to explain it. What do you think, Pigdude?
Yeah, so it's just because the Persona fandom, is not perfect. It's like every other fandom. You have your people who are constantly saying, "Play this game," and then you also have people who are saying, "You can't play that game. You can't like that. It's impossible to like that." So that would theoretically grow more with the more people who join the fandom, which is upsetting. And of course, you'll probably have people arguing which version is the best, since console wars are still a thing, sadly.
Oh, I should know.
So you could just imagine bringing like PC and Switch into this. Like, oh man, Persona 5 on PC, what a garbage. And so it would just suck. And I think that while I am still all for porting and bringing accessibility, that part would just be really annoying.
Shit, tender stands are just asking for the scraps or something. I don't know. I quote that from like somebody who was happy about the death of an Xbox head manager. It is as messed up as you think it is. Yeah. I forget his name, but rest in peace, dude. I'm so sorry this rando had to be so garbage. God damn. Also, they call Sony Sonia. I don't know why. But that's a whole other ramble for later.
What a gamer insult.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right.
So, I guess we just get into... Well, go ahead, Pigdude.
So, yeah, we kind of just should talk about sort of our ideas of maybe how Atlas should take this. Now, of course, none of this is going to happen. We're just a couple of fans hoping, but of course, nothing is concrete. So, first up, I think Atlas should tread lightly with this. And so, like we talked about before, if they, make the ports, then the port beggars would, quote unquote, win. And so, of course, that might lead to or create a chain reaction, and they think that begging and just commenting under every post, saying bring this to this, then spamming, then that would work, and that would just be upsetting because we're already seeing enough. So just imagine a certain somebody doing it even more. And so I really think if Atlas does it, they need to be careful about how they do it, because if they say, "We heard your cries for Persona 5 on the Switch," then they're definitely going to be like, "Oh, hell yeah, I made a difference. I just need to just keep on yelling into a void, and I will get what I want."
We're sorry, Mike, for the really ominous
slide.
Well, tread lightly is the better phrase we could come up with, but I do agree because it's not as simple as just bam porting it to Switch, but it's not as simple as just nah. There's a lot more complications to it because now that it's gotten so big of a movement, there is a delicate fine line between listening to people but then just outright ignoring them. It's definitely a lot more tricky than you might think it is. So, any closing thoughts on this, Pig Dude?
No, that's kind of all I wanted to say about that.
Okay. Um, was there? Oh, anyone who is not muted, be sure to mute yourself. Nothing bad. It's just usually we got to keep this going smoothly. Anyways, so I guess I don't know. This does seem a lot more blunt of a slide or resolution than we're gonna make this out to be, but just hear me out. The port beggars, because denotatively that's what they are, that doesn't mean anything necessarily bad, that's just what they are. Just email Atlas. Maybe like wait for press interviews, maybe talk about it without necessarily going under every single reply for like Shin Megami Tensei, or maybe they do something for Catherine, or Etrian Odyssey, maybe, I don't know. But either way, just try to be more discreet about it, because it is a slap in the face to people who are fans of other projects in the department of Atlas, or the whole of Atlas. Or if you just can't, then just take a breather, step aside, be patient. You know? I don't know.
And I mean, Atlas has done like polls before asking what people want, and so Atlas does somewhat communicate with people, and people were talking about in the Twitch chat, it's not constant. Like, they can't just say, all right, we're doing this because people asked. Sega owns Atlas, I believe, and so you have to go through that giant corporation. So it's just a constant going through each floor of corporation and trying to basically get approval. And so it's just kind of pointless to yell into the void under a random Atlas tweet that asks, or that mentions that Dante is now in Smash. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'd say just wait for the opportune moments, because Atlas has done polls, so just see if you could get your opinion in with other people who want it to also happen, and who knows, maybe they will actually act on those polls.
Perhaps, hopefully, I don't know. And then lastly, when you kick us off or something with this, great.
Nice.
Beautiful
right,
transition.
So
I'm a perfect speaker.
If the ports were to happen, then really we should not be trying to put people down that are coming in from them. I really think we should accept them with open arms, because Persona is not the easiest series to get into. It has a whole lot going on in it. I see people constantly getting stuff wrong about it, even though they really like the games. And then, of course, there are the people who are yelling at each other just because they share different opinions. And so it's just, you need to be careful. Even now, even if they don't port, with people coming into the fandom, just be nice to them. I mean, come on, it's just common decency. And, you see like people arguing over something, then maybe just try to put your toe in and say, okay, maybe we could do this in a bit more of a discussion manner than just going after each other's intelligence because you like one character over the other. It's better, like Mike said, better than nothing. So, yeah.
All right. So, in conclusion, Break Free Persona is technically not something bad or evil inherently. God no, it's just a video game thing at the end of the day. But what it is more so is just something that got a little out of hand as time went on and as more people got involved that probably shouldn't. Also, beautiful image. Actually, Gray Pigdude, would you be able to post the Joker player one? Do it,
Of course.
please, and then maybe say your thoughts as soon as you're done. But really,
Yes.
oh, there we go.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right. But really, it's nothing that is bad, even if now it is a delicate situation. And so with that, Pig Dude, take us off before we go to a Q&A and audience input section.
Yeah, so like Matt said, Break Free Persona isn't terrible. It is, I think, a good way to try to get the company's attention, but it's just gotten way too out of hand, and people really just need to dial it back with it because, like I said multiple times, screaming into a void does absolutely nothing for anybody. You could be making stuff. Heck, even if you wanted to, I'm sure PersonaCon could, maybe even would have a Break Free Persona panel where you just talk about why Persona games could break free. It's just get involved. Don't just keep on repeating the same stuff over and over again. Actually have points. Because if you're just saying, oh, you know what fans would really like? Persona 5 on Switch. We don't give a damn about this SMT bull crap. Then it's just not going to do anything. You're just going to get people clowning on you because, let's face it, you're a clown if you do that.
That blunt but truthful in itself. All right, so without further ado, it is time for a Q&A and audience input. Now, before we get started with the Q&A, here are the rules. 1, we will be giving priority to Break Free Persona stuff, both input and questions. However, if you have something, you can also ask things like, what do we have for breakfast? Or something about Persona. That's fine. Just know that we're going to give slight priority to the BFP stuff. BFP, Break Free Persona stuff.
So go Break Free Persona, top of our priority list, then Persona, and then just general chit-chat.
Absolutely.
So let's start off with Navi's question about Xbox Game Pass. So I think it was a great idea to put the Yakuza games on the Game Pass because they're just a whole franchise on Game Pass is incredible, and with games that are highly received like Yakuza, I think did wonders for it. So let's say Persona does come to Xbox, and they put a couple of them on the Game Pass. That would be such a great way for people to dip their toes into the series.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree, and I think that even it's not just Persona or Yakuza, it's a lot of series and even indie games that could really use that boost through the Game Pass. So, Xbox users, in our belief, you probably got a good deal. All right,
definitely.
So anything from Twitch
all right,
before...
I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes. So Skilled Legend has a question for both of us. What do we think this big announcement, or what would we like to see as a big announcement for the 25th Persona anniversary? So you could go first with this.
Ooh, that's tough. I'd have to say either a Persona 5 Arena game that does involve not just 3, 4, and 5, but hopefully, fingers crossed, I know different directors, maybe give a little representation to 1 and 2. Even if it's slight, what's the harm? Maybe just get some help, get something in there. And then perhaps we can do something involving accessibility, but even then that's pretty far low on my list because again, Alice needs to think cautiously about this since the situation is very delicate.
Yeah, so I'm kind of the same way. I think a Persona 5 Arena would be really cool to see, and but I also would really love to see all the Persona games get brought over to modern console in some way, and especially something that's like multiplayer, like the Arena games, because you bring those over, since they're multiplayer, I feel like they would have a much bigger, more active community because, people will play through Persona once or twice just to, do the stuff and then kind of leave it because, you play through the game. But with a game that you are actively playing against people, doing different things constantly, then, you're constantly playing it, you constantly active in it. So yeah, I feel like arena games would be really nice to see, and then
Mm-hmm.
also Persona games, and of course, I would love a Persona 5 arena.
Real quick from Nyla, what did you have for breakfast? I had just a cafe vanilla thing, coffee, whatever. Big dude, real quick,
I
what did you
had
have?
a I had a pan au chocolat.
Damn, that sounds fancy. um,
It's not. It's just a croissant with chocolate in it.
oh, I
My dad
see.
ran up to the
I
bakery this
see.
morning and got me it. So,
I see. From Tom CM91 on Discord, what game do you think is likely to get ported or announced next? Um, I would have to say maybe something involving Royal, even if it's just on Steam and not necessarily Switch. If they're gonna port something, then that would be that. If they're gonna announce something like brand new, I would say it'd have to be that Persona 5 Arena.
personally, I would like to see Persona 3 some way brought over to Steam. I know it would be a bit more difficult because there are so many different versions of it. But I think I could see FES being brought over because I think that's the newest version, or at least like the most. Um, I think it's the most popular. I might be wrong with um, it being the newest, but Navi, I think you make a good point. You could just add FMC stuff to it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
even okay, now this might be a bit different or not or this might be a bit controversial if it were to happen, but maybe have FES and then FEMC route would be basically the P3P version of it, where it's just the visual novel style.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it would be completely different because they're two separate games. They don't function the same way all the time. So I think that would just be nice to see, but I doubt that would ever happen.
Mm-hmm. I see. Um, real quick from Dr. Dino, comment. Persona Q2 translated English would be awesome. I agree. It would be difficult to get the voice cast together, but just getting them together would be really fun. And hey, port it to something. From Shimo on Discord, would you want any SMT games to be ported? Entire collection, please.
Yeah,
Including the
bring all the SMT games.
yeah. Last one from so far, anyway. So far from Angel the Cool. Would Alice and TMS make a crossover DLC in that fighting game featuring Lupin the Third or someone from Alice original series? I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. I didn't even know Lupin the Third was a big part of it because I know there were a few things inspired by that few parts of Joker's character in Arsene that were inspired by Lupin the Third, but I'm not quite sure.
I think it would be really cool, but the chances of it happening, I think, are pretty damn slim. Um, we also have a question from Skilled Legend again on Twitch.
All right.
If they did port Persona 5 Royal to PC, what kind of changes would you like to see? Any like mod support or tweaks that they might
Ooh.
have? Personally, I love modding games, so I think it would be really cool to have mods with Persona 5 Royal, have different character models, or hell, even change it up so that you play as the P3 or P4 pro tags. Um, and tweaks, I think just balancing, personally, because Persona 5 Royale is a bit easy, at least for me, for most of it. So I think that just change a couple of things up, and maybe actually make merciless. But yeah, that's all I kind of would want from a
Yeah.
port to PC from it.
I think you said it best because mods can actually make can be super inventive and creative And I think if Atlas allowed people to get a little more, really invested in like maybe having Joker be able to romance Ryuji or Yusuke, or make Sumi a playable character the whole time, that would be really fun. Like, even if she can't be
Yeah.
fully integrated into the whole story, because that would be really tricky, it might be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, they did it with Strikers, where you're able to use Zenkichi right off the bat in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of it not really confused me because I could understand why they did it, but it more upsets me that you can't use Kechi and Sumi right off the bat in Persona 5, or even all your
Yeah.
party members, because while it wouldn't make any story sense, New Game Plus isn't meant to, you know, so you already have items from the characters that you maxed out your
Right.
confidants with. So yeah, I think it would just be nice to see them actually used.
Hmm. I see. It would be broken in the RPG
I
style
mean,
of Persona 5 Royal? Hmm. What do you say to
yeah,
that?
it would be. Um, I could see why that would kinda, because you start. I mean, with enemy weaknesses and stuff, then it's not, it wouldn't flow all as smooth. But at the same time, New Game Plus is basically uh, you're overpowered. You just want to do what you didn't do in the previous playthrough. At least that's how I feel about it. It's not. I feel like New Game Plus isn't all about just playing the game exactly over. I want a bit more to it.
That is totally fair. Totally fair. Any questions? Any other questions? Twitch, Discord.
Yeah. So, Skilled Legend comments. I'd love to see to see them do what they did with Persona 4 Golden, where you could adjust the difficulty, like half damage, times two money, times one
Oh,
experience.
that would be really fun. That would be really fun.
So yeah, um, yeah, because Golden does actually have a good amount of accessibility. Accessibility. You're able to adjust quite a bit. So if you want to make yourself get a load of XP to cut down on grinding, sorry if you could hear a plane in the background. So if you want to get a load of XP to cut down on grinding, you can do that in the Steam port of Persona 4. So that would be an interesting feature, and it
Hmm.
might make some things a bit better with it. I don't know. Could be interesting to see.
Yeah. From Kusuo Psyche, do you think Persona 3 will be remade for modern consoles like the Switch, PS4 and 5, Xbox, Steam? I think we might have addressed this earlier,
Um,
but what do you think? Personally, I wouldn't mind that, but I also wouldn't mind like a slightly remastered port, such as maybe add in controllable party members if that's going to be so controversial, which I understand. Um, or heck, okay, we can do a remake for sure. That would be totally fun. What do you think?
yeah. So, while I would love to see a remake, I don't think it will happen. I think the best we'll get is a port, really. Maybe a enhanced port.
I see.
Um, or yeah, maybe a remaster port. Just with updated visuals, updated audio and stuff. Although, if SMT Nocturne is of any sort of indicator, then maybe not. But the like we talked about before, the issue is which one do you bring over? Um, it's just there are so many versions of Persona 3. It's just kind of hard to know what what you bring to it. I feel.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Nocturne was a low budget remaster, sadly. So I hear. I'd really like to get it on a sale, so I'm looking out for that. So who knows? Maybe I'll play it on the channel at some point. We'll see. Yeah, just port FES with FemC. That would be good. Best of both worlds. Um, I'd be so happy with the port of the portable versions of Persona 2, Innocent Sin, and Eternal Punishment. I agree. Anything on Twitch?
Hmm. Uh, No, nothing. No questions.
No problem.
Just some thoughts about Persona 3 and what models they would use because the models are, you know, not the best. So that also kind of leans into maybe a remastered port where they, enhance the models, make them look a bit better because they can look pretty rough. Um, and yes, remove the Ken romance, please.
Yeah,
Don't have that in it.
that was
Just
really
cut it.
disconcerting.
Cut it.
I'm sorry, it was really disconcerting.
Yeah,
They could just do it
really
Ace Attorney style and just up resolution on the sprites. What do you think of that? I mean, it could work, but
that would work on sprites, but also with 3D models, it would be a bit more difficult to do. And I'm no modeler. I don't know how to do any of that, so I'm assuming it takes a good amount of effort to make them look a bit better. I'm not saying make them look like, Persona 5 level just from nothing. Skill Legend says they do have the models for dancing, so they could very much use those. But at the same time, then they would be in high contrast with the rest of the areas.
Mhm.
So it's just how far do you go with it? Because if we're talking about just a remastered port, it would be you would have to decide how remastered are we going to get, and at a certain point, do you just completely remake it from the ground up? So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Any more questions or comments anywhere? It seems like we are about. When did we start the panel? Because we might be about like around 10-ish minutes.
I think we started about 40 past. So yeah, about 10 more minutes. So yeah. So keep the questions coming, and always happy to answer.
Okay. It happens. It happens. I just love just straight up Persona 1 portable with the ability to switch the music. Oh, that might be pretty cool. For sure, for sure. Who would join Smash next, and why is it Goro Majima? I don't know. A Pigdude's a big fan of Yakuza, so it might be kind of fun.
Oh, I would love to see Goro Majima in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
He's my baby boy.
For sure, for sure. Master Chief for Eggman is who I want in Smash. Interesting. Honestly, I can't help but wonder. What if it's the Shin Megami Tensei 5 protagonist? It's unlikely, but I can't help but wonder if that's the rep we're gonna get. Because instead of Narukami or Boy with Earring or Jack Frost, we got Joker. Though I guess that's reasonable, because up until Persona 1 was popular up until Persona 5 came around. Or it sold the most, I guess.
Yeah. Personally, I think we need kind of staying on Smash. I think we do need a bit more villainous characters. I mean, we did just get what's his name, Kiryu.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's a bit of a kind of Kazuya.
Yeah.
Kazuya, yes, thank you.
It happens.
Ron K character. I got Yakuza on the mind. I do think more villains would be nice to see, and I think they would make for some pretty enjoyable trailers. Because at this point, I don't really care who gets into Smash. I just want them to have a good trailer.
Yeah, because this is a hot take. The Game Awards trailer for Joker was absolutely stunning and badass in every way imaginable. But then, not only for the release of Joker did they not have Sakurai presented, but it was just kind of I mean, the first bit, like, showing, the trailer was fine. It was, like, the typical, like, oh, I got into Smash, these enemies are tough, but I won't hold back, except the other characters are talking over Joker because he's a silent protagonist. But still, my point is, it was definitely a lot lackluster. Don't get me wrong, Joker himself was a great addition, and I'm really, really happy with him. I just think the second final release trailer could have been better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry! Oh, here's
Um,
clarification from Cammy. They wasted all their budget on Joker, so that's why they switched to the Sakurai Presents. Damn. Wow.
they used up all their money getting the VAs back.
I kind of feel bad
But
for saying that now. I don't know, unless I'm not really an asshole for saying that. Damn. Either way, that's a bummer.
I do wish though we did get a Sakurai present for Joker because he loves Persona 5, so I think it would have been pretty cool to see him gush about it.
I know there was an interview.
Oh well.
I know there was an interview that Sakurai did where actually he said that he completed most, if not all, the social links, except Yusuke.
Except Yusuke, he didn't have enough time.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. He did. That was such a bummer, though. Rip. Because I will admit, Yusuke and On, in my opinion, have my favorite social links in 5. Joker's VA is the Smash announcer. That is true. That's very true.
Yep.
Alright, so how are we doing
I
on
wonder
time?
how. We're doing pretty good. We have about 9 more minutes.
Okay, 9 more minutes.
Personally, I'm wondering at how early Xander, Joker's VA and the Smash announcer, how early does he know who's coming to Smash? Because I know at one point, I think it was with Min Min, they said like this ARMS character is coming to Smash. He is like, oh, I know who's coming. So I just wonder how early on does he know?
Good question. Oh, can I tune in for a second? Absolutely, Cammy. Do you need VC or do you need just Oh, hello there.
So basically, the injury with Xander went that. So in Smash 4, I don't know if they still did this for Ultimate, but I'm assuming so. But basically, they gave Xander a really, really big list of names to read out in the Smash announcer voice.
Oh.
Oh, really?
And, yeah. So he didn't quite know who got in, but he read all the names.
Oh
So,
my!
for example, in Smash 4, he could have did Cloud, Corrin, and Ryu all in one thing, and not know. And he could have also did, I don't know who else, Piranha Plant in that same one. So
Oh.
Okay.
there was
All right.
I'm not quite sure if they did that for Ultimate, but I'm assuming so, knowing Nintendo knows Nintendo.
I'll take your word for
That must
it.
be funny though. If he saw, that must be funny if he saw Joker on the list and was like, "Oh shit." Although I guess he would have actually recorded a lot more lines for it, so he would probably know. Yeah, he would know that one for sure.
Yeah.
It's a strange.
Joker was. If Persona 5 wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah, so they did the same thing with, I'm pretty sure it was with Terry, Kirby's voice actress, when she came in to do Terry's copy ability lines, because she was a big SNK fan, so she instantly recognized Power Wave and whatever else it was. So she was freaking out, it's Terry in Smash, and then the director was like, yeah, might as well tell her.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
So, like, not even some of the voice actors know if they're doing Smash, because they love to keep it a secret, and I respect it.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of insane how well Smash keeps its how well kept secret Smash characters are, because you don't really see a whole lot of leaks, except Terry and Hero, and technically Joker had that render leak by Best Buy, but we already knew he was coming at that point. And Terry's was more, we know someone's coming from SNK, and he's kind of the obvious pick. So
quick comment.
But yeah,
from...
it's.
Oh, go ahead. No,
go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay. A quick comment from Dr. Dino. Maybe the next Persona game has 2 wild cards on the same team, like they did for Persona Q and Persona 5 for Akechi. Oh, and also Cassandra said yesterday she didn't even know about Joker until the announcement. Okay.
Okay.
I see. She said it had a placeholder name. We are so watching I'm still watching the VOD after for Cassandra and the rest of and the beginning part of Laura's and Tom's and Wendy's after PersonaCon's done, because my goodness, that was fun. Oh, hello, Divine Spectre. It's good to see you. Yes, we're having a good time. We're talking a lot about Smash, but it's been fun. We also got through a lot of Break Free Persona stuff, so it was good. I think we covered all the bases, so... would you say it's a good time to wrap it up?
I don't know how much time we got. Because we could keep talking, or we could wrap it up. I don't mind.
Maybe quick fire if we have
Just
enough time.
depends, whatever. Yeah, quick fire. Really,
All right,
4
quick
or
fire
5
questions.
Quick fire.
All right, quick fire questions. What is PersonaCon? An online convention wherein Persona fans gather together to record, to make panels, art, cosplay, the like, and as well as online and
Yes.
free. So yeah. Any more questions? Going once, going twice. Go go go
Get
go
him
go.
in. Get him in.
Get him in.
Will
Get him
we
in.
have
Get him
another
in.
PersonaCon next year?
There will
I
be another.
cannot confirm or deny anything at this moment in time.
Oh, I'm
as
sorry. That's totally fine.
No decisions have been made yet.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. How's it been?
Maxima based, yes or no? Of course.
How has it been hosting 3 panels this year? For me, it's been good. Pigdude, what do you think?
Yeah, it's been great. Only issue is that I'm in EU time, so it's a bit late for me. But other than that, I've had a great time chatting with Maddie about the Persona series because honestly, I haven't been talking about it enough because I've just been going off on other series as of late. So it's good to get back into it.
Oh, what kind of prep was needed and how long did it take? It took about a week and a half to prep things. We just made like a bunch of talking points. Then the only thing we were concerned about was getting out a form to collect presentations. And hey, we filled up an hour and a half.
Yeah, worked
for
pretty
you,
well.
Gray, how does it feel voicing you in the Persona 4 Abridged?
It feels great. Happy to be there. Hopefully, you all will enjoy it when our first episode releases. Can't tell you when. That is classified, partly because I don't know when it was actually going to come out.
It's okay.
And
You're on the
also,
same level as a
will
lot of
there
voice
be-
actors.
Will there be an announcement for another Abridged series? Abridged series are mostly fan-made. PersonaCon isn't connected to them. There are people who do panels about their Abridged series in them, but PersonaCon is not actually responsible for putting those out. Those are passion projects by fans of the games.
Precisely.
That's true.
Yeah, so, otherwise, any more questions? Going once? Going twice?
Oh, and twice.
Oh, wait,
Oh, we
somebody's
got a
typing,
couple
somebody's
people
typing. Majima based, yes or no?
All right,
Yes. Is Igor based?
always.
Relatively, unless it's the fake one, but that's spoilers. Otherwise, do you think that's about it? Shall we wrap up?
Yes, I think that will do it for us today, and that is our final Persona Con panel. If you have watched any of our other panels, thank you. And also, they are available on MagicMaddie's Twitch. If you want to look at them there, I will put that in the Discord, and also
thank you.
on her channel, which I will also put. If you want to watch any of us give those, then feel free to go back and look at them. We are always happy for feedback, and if there is another PersonaCon, then maybe you can catch us at it next time.
Yeah. I will admit that it is a little bittersweet, if not downright makes me a little sad that PersonaCon this year has concluded. However, I could say the same. I mean, I've had like this kind of melancholy post-con depression around like PAX East, so been here, done that. But the point is, thank you all so much for a great convention, especially for an online one. It was really, it was nerve-wracking at first, I'm not gonna lie, but then once we got into the process, talking with mods, talking with Pigdude, yada yada, it was really good. And I do not regret a damn thing. I loved every single bit of this. Thank you all so much.
Yeah.
And thank you all for the
Had a
support.
couple.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been great. I had a couple technical hiccups, but I can't really blame anybody for that.
Oh, not at
so
all.
it has been great, and y'all have been really nice, and yeah, it's just been a great way to connect with new members of the community, and give my opinions about a series that I love.
For sure. Oh, the connection for my, oh, never mind, the stream quality is okay. Scared the crap out of me. I thought like, oh no, Discord's gonna, I mean, no, not Discord. Twitch is not being good right now, but either way, we're gonna close out the stream on Twitch and then also on Discord. But thank you all so much. Pigdude, you know where to meet me. VC for
Yep.
a quick aftermath thing, and we'll see you guys soon. Until then, thanks for PersonaCon 2021. Bye.
Adios.
Kiryu Gaming, damn straight. Bye bye, everybody. Goodbye.
See ya.